All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, we're going to take a look at a love tarot story, but it's also going to be more specific for this 9-9 portal. So, any of the portal energy, gives us like an energetic doorway to shift things, to walk through. That 9 energy is the energy of like completion, wrapping something up. Hi, Robin. Great to see you, babe. So, let's just take a look, but specifically in the context of love. Smell the roses, slow down, take some time and get out in nature. So when it comes to love, it says, okay, instead of feeling like frantic or feeling pressured or feeling like there's this rush, this is like, even if it's a brand new, like, hey, I'm just starting to talk to somebody, it's like, enjoy that. Enjoy, even like putting it out of our minds that is this person going to be, the one? And instead it's like, hey, this is another human being that I just get to enjoy learning a little something about. It's almost like, even if somebody doesn't turn out to, like run through the checklist and be like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. What are you looking for? What's your 5-year plan? Blah, 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 blah. This is like, our character might say, I really don't care, because if you ask those questions, people answer them. Sometimes they're still not answering what's true. They're answering their cultivated responses. So instead, now I just get to know somebody. I just chill out. I just relax. There is no agenda, especially when it comes to love. I'm going to appreciate the different things about a person, the things that I like, instead of look for red flags or look for ways that I can then say, look, they're amazing. They have to be the one. So, very nice, very relaxed energy when it comes to how somebody gets to know a potential lover. With the Fool, a fool is like, everything in life is a bit of a leap of faith. Every single thing in life. We never know how anything's going to work out. Hi, everybody. Great to see you all. We never know what the ending of something is going to be, because we're just starting at the beginning. So when we have characters that are like, I don't know what to expect, I don't know how anything will go, but if I'm interested to find out more, I'll stay loyal to that instead of sabotage that things. I'll stay maybe open-minded. I'll stay, we keep seeing like this feminine who is also saying not only that, but like, I love my own life, and I have things that I definitely want to stay true to that suit me and don't suit me. But I'm also aware that sometimes you don't know what you like until you've explored somebody new. I'm hearing that song, try a little something different, try a little something new, and try a little something no one else has done. Is that from Winnie the Pooh? I think it might be. We have the World card. World card is definitely, and there's that same little white dog. So I don't know if somebody has a little white doggy, but Pupsy is right here, and whoops, in both of these images. And this is broadening her world, not shrinking it. I really think somebody is possibly going to start dating someone from, I mean, maybe Spain. Maybe she's going to Spain. Maybe she's taking dance lessons, and she's like, I'm open to meeting whomever. I'm open to exploring things from beyond whatever I'm familiar with. I'm open to wherever this world will take me, wherever a love story might take me. I'm open to meeting somebody from a completely different culture. I'm open to meeting somebody while I'm traveling. I'm open, before she might have been more narrow visioned and been like, look, if I'm traveling, I know it's just going to be a fling. And so if I'm not even going to consider anybody that I could meet if I'm out of town as a potential romance, because hey, I don't want to do long distance. And it's like, this is her throwing out preconceived notions of how things could go. It almost feels like, for her to be so comfortable with the unknown, so open to exploration, and so calm in like getting to just know somebody just exactly as they are. Who are they presenting to me in the here and the now? I would say, when you get that zen, that comfortable, and that adventurous all rolled into one, it's probably because she's tried everything else and still didn't have success. And so bit by bit, you become less stressed about stuff. It's like, you can do everything right and still wind up with the wrong person. You can think that, you met the love of your life and it's going to last forever. And, you did the checklist and everything was supposed to work and they were vetted. And then guess what? They still turn out to be a toad. It just feels like, or you think it's what you want, You get the happily ever after that you thought it was supposed to look like, and then guess what? It doesn't actually satisfy you. So I think if she's tried everything and discovered, you never know. So you may as well not go in with too many preconceived notions, but rather know yourself. Know like what you like, honor your own real reactions. If you're meeting somebody new and it's like, well, there's certain things I like and don't like, there's definitely deal breakers. But on the other hand, I'm open to learning stuff I didn't know about. I'm open to sampling a new palette. I'm open to, just a little bit more exploration. I'm broadening my horizons. We keep seeing somebody who's like more of a traveler, more of a trendsetter. We've got this Queen of Pentacles, which Queen of Pentacles tend to be really good at like putting down roots, but she's up in an airplane flying. She's not even on Earth right now. So I definitely feel like we have a character who is willing to step outside of their comfort zone. I may still be somebody who's grounded, but here's the thing. I only need to be grounded inside. An adventurous person can still be a very grounded person because it's like, I know me, but I'm not rigid in my thoughts. I can meet other people and be like, oh, they're lovely. I appreciate these things about them. I'm even attracted to these things about them. Do I think that we would have a long-term success? Maybe not, but I can still appreciate them for whatever role they may have played or will play in my life, however brief, however lengthy. It just feels like she's so much more like accepting of everything. She's so much more relaxed about everything. She's so much more sure of who she is. And that's why she's able to be more adventurous. Four of Cups. And please do remember this may be a he just as well as it being a she. I don't read for genders, but rather energy. But keep in mind the feminine energy that we keep seeing is the energy of the moon. That's a gravitational pull. So a character is starting to realize, I want to attract interesting people in love. I want to attract maybe different things so that maybe I can get different outcomes. And I am willing to be a brave explorer. And actually, I'm feeling pretty sexy about all this. I'm feeling pretty badass about this. I'm feeling like just like a well-versed, broad-minded. I really feel like this is a character who is kind of proud of the fact that they are unafraid to just get to know people. They're very comfortable in their own skin now. With that Four of Cups, she may be saying, I wish I had learned this sooner. She, he, whomever. I wish I had learned this sooner. That's the only regret here, is that I wasted a lot of good time where I could have maybe had more fun with people. Not every person that we meet for a potential love mate is going to stay in our lives permanently. She might be saying, man, there were certain people that were great and I could have stayed friends with them. But instead, because I was looking for a lover and I had a checklist, I maybe booted out a couple people that maybe they would have still been in my life if I didn't, gloss over them and move on because I thought they weren't what I was looking for, when in fact they might have just added more value into my life. I don't know. I feel like she's easier going about the difference between like lovers, friends, and longtime partnerships and what each person can be and what those roles could look like. I just don't think she's only looking for one kind of, we'll say, love in her life. This is somebody who's much more chill at this point, and it's making the concept of dating and romance so much easier because there's, on one hand, like less expectations. With that Four of Swords, she is definitely leaving a little bit more up to chance as well. I keep feeling like if she goes somewhere, travels somewhere, she's really open to whomever she crosses paths with, really giving them her full attention. Any stranger could potentially become our new best friend or the love of our lives. She listens now. That Four of Swords can be a card of somebody that's like healing. This can be a card of silence, or this can be a card of, I listen to the universe now. Why am I guided certain places? Why do I want to go visit that lighthouse? Why do I want to go certain places? Maybe because there's an energetic pull. I kind of feel like this is a character who's starting to listen more to energy. Maybe they're deeply intuitive. Maybe they have needed to like free themselves up to say, I'm going to trust the unknown a little bit more. Electro Beats, thank you so much, sweetheart. You're so generous. Thank you, love. Thank you for that beautiful donation. Happy 9/9 portal to you also, babe. This is really quite exciting. We have a Nine of Wands. Again, we're rocking the lighthouse. I'm going to say this about her, her, but she may have been quite isolated for quite a long time. She may have been somebody that was always searching. I'm searching. When am I going to find what I need? If I don't find exactly what I need, then doesn't mean I've failed in my quest. Instead of saying, wait a minute, what are lighthouses really? Lighthouses, it's not really a searchlight. Lighthouses were put on the coastlines to warn ships, don't run aground over here. Lighthouses are, like protective mechanisms. And in fact, it tells ships where there's, rough terrain, don't run aground. She may have inadvertently, with having like a more like thinking she was on a quest to find what she wanted, she might have actually been pushing things away because it was too hyper focused on what it needed to be, instead of saying, now wait a minute, maybe what I need and the people that I cross paths with. I'm not saying that every person she met could have been the love of her life and she blew it. No, no, no. It's more that the interactions that she's had might have all been necessary for completely different reasons. Sometimes those little exchanges that we have they add texture to our life. Or maybe the person that we meet that we are not attracted to, but they're a nice person, instead of cutting them loose, maybe we keep them in our life and maybe they introduce us to their cousin who happens to be the right one for us. It's just she's changing her perspective on everything, saying, wait a minute, I'm not some isolated lighthouse who's always looking and never finding and wondering what the heck am I doing wrong when it comes to love. She's just kind of realizing that this is a more fun way to look at love, a different way. And not that she's messed up, but rather she's just realizing that she flows with stuff a little bit better. With that Ace of Swords, there is no reason to look back and say, oh, I've done it all wrong. That's why I haven't, ended up with my happily ever after. This is like the Ace of Swords cuts the past away completely, but so that she can totally free her mind. And she also has that white flower. It's like waving the white flag saying, all right, universe. All right. I get it. Roll with it. Roll with it. See where things take me. Be open to a little bit more exploration. Be open to maybe even having, like let my heart explore somebody, even if I'm not sure that meeting somebody on a vacation is going to last for forever. This is more like giving herself freedom to be both more relaxed about love and relationships, not meaning that it's less important, but not putting such a high expectation that she has to get it right. I keep feeling like this was a character who was like, I have to get it right. And how come I've tried to always do it right and it doesn't work? And it almost says, because there isn't just one right way to meet somebody. There isn't just one right way to do love. Being open to meeting somebody on an unexpected day in an unexpected moment, and realizing, I don't know, maybe she's the kind of person who was like, well, I'm not going to meet the love of my life in this small town that I live in. Of course not. I know everybody in this town, which is unlikely. I mean, unless you live in a town of like 100 people, it's unlikely that you know every single person. So that's like I'm using like a broad stereotypical statement to say, well, of course, I'm not going to meet anybody in this stupid town. It's so small. I know everybody here. When that's not really a very great statement or a great mindset to put ourselves in, because what if some hottie moves to town? What if somebody's, cousin, best friend comes to visit? And guess what? We do need to meet them in that town. What if there is somebody we never met before and we didn't even know was there? It just says broaden the mindscape, broaden, and just let things play out a little bit more. With this tower, I wonder if we've got possibly an Aries, possibly a masculine, who is similarly being impacted during this 9/9 portal, and they too are surrendering. I look at this as a card of surrender. She's surrendering preconceived notions about how love was going to go, where she'd meet somebody, how it would all map out. He's surrendering something else. Let's change decks for him. What is your story? Because I'm digging the fact that somebody else pops on into this. What's your story? He's going to live in his present moment. Okay, this is terrific. I'm not saying these characters were control freaks at all. I'm saying these are characters who probably put a lot of expectations on themselves to like do things right, to have intentions, pursue outcomes. But when it comes to matters of the heart, I don't know if it works so well that way. We have the death and rebirth. He's changing. Today we have a masculine who's changing. Or again, never matters about gender, but he's in his present moment, he's altering the way he looks at things. Would you look at that? It's about how he meets people as well. Three of Cups, sideways. Maybe it is okay if a friend sets me up with somebody. Maybe it is okay if that, you know, my mom's elderly friend says that, her niece is coming to town and they want me to meet. You know what? What's so wrong with that? Maybe I objected to that before, but why not open up a little bit? Why not let love come in? Why not be willing to meet people if standing in line at a coffee house? Why not say it could happen at any point in time, even when you're not out actively saying, I am single, I am seeking relationships, I'm going to the bar to meet someone, or I'm going online to try to date someone. All of this just feels like we have two characters that are going to be much better at realizing we are surrounded by humans on this planet, right? There's 8 billion plus of us. And granted, there's a lot of open land too, but we meet a lot of people in a day. But if we keep thinking, yes, but I mean, I couldn't just have a dialogue with, the stranger I walk by as they're waiting at the bus stop and I'm, walking down the block to go to the grocery store. Why? Why could we not stop and potentially chat with them and potentially have that end up be the love of our life? Why would that be so impossible? We have the Star, we have the Ten of Wands. It just says we don't have to be in a mindset where it's like, okay, this is the place where I would most likely go to find somebody to date. And anything outside of that scenario, of course, I couldn't meet someone. He is like laying down those burdens. He is like, if anything, with the Star, healing from some preconceived notions. That tower has fallen for him. His mind is more open. He's more in the present energy. He's changing the way he looks at relationships as well. And I think instead of saying, yeah, but they never work out, it's like, maybe I've had relationships that helped me learn how to heal some stuff in myself. Maybe the relationships that, seemed burdensome, maybe it's because they taught me some things. Maybe I learned some things about myself and how to heal some things in me. That's a much better way to look at it rather than a failed relationship, but instead to say, I got so much out of that experience. No, we didn't end up together, but what did I gain out of it? I gained this new perspective. I gained self-resilience. I gained something that I didn't know I needed to heal. It showed me some stuff about me. I think if he's able to absorb past relationships, both those that failed or ones that had some measure of success, and see that, let me see what I got out of it instead of, chalking it up to like, oh, they were terrible. She was a monster. He was a monster. I think it turns out that a character gets a lot more out of any relationship when they ask themselves, what did I gain from this experience? Because it's a part of my life story. Maybe I'm a part of their life story, or maybe they would rather forget me, but they are definitely a part of mine. So what did I gain for that experience? I think that's such a great way to look at things. And if that's what he's doing today, we have a Six of Swords. It's him like truly moving forward with a sense of calm and peace when it comes to the idea of love, meeting people, interacting with people. I think he reached ultimate confidence. I'm ready to meet people whenever, however. Both of these characters seem so chill, so calm, so open to dialogue, meeting people whenever and wherever it happens, opening themselves up, being unafraid to like express interest in someone who maybe is just a vague, I just randomly bumped into this person. We started chit-chatting. I'm not afraid to express myself. I'm interested in who they are. If there's a little bit of a vibe, then sure, let's talk a little bit more. But he just seems so calm now. Happy Heart, you sweetheart. Thank you so much, Happy Heart. Happy Heart just gifted 5 memberships. If your name just turned green, that is courtesy of Happy Heart. So Mancy Halls, Myrish Swamp, Brenda Ann, Kins, and Sander Luke. Welcome, everyone. I think some of you are already members. I don't know if it's on this channel or the other, but I don't know how that works entirely. I know that YouTube will automatically just scatter and if you're gifting memberships, but I've noticed lately that I'm seeing names that I think were already members that are then being members a second time. Now, I don't know for sure how that would work, but I'm just mentioning that because some of you probably, I just said your name, but you might be going, I think I already was gifted a membership, or I already am a member, because I know at least 2 of those names are members, but I'm not sure about which channel. So I'm sorry, I hope that doesn't make anything confusing, but if your name just turned green, welcome. And that means you'll want to check out the members playlist, okay? And check out our most recent members video from yesterday. You guys, thank you again. Happy heart, you so sweet, hon. Okay, so he is with that 6 of Pentacles upright. He is definitely in this energy of like wanting to share energy, just like she is. I would say this speaks very well for, this feels like a singles reading. It doesn't have to be. I guess this could be 2 people who had interacted, but nothing came of it. Maybe they didn't think anything could come of it. Let me just ask that quickly. Did they have any interaction before, or is this 2 like brand new people? Is this just what's changing in the realm of characters that are single? And happy heart, do let me know if you'll let me say thank you by doing a little storytelling for you on next Monday. We have Judgment. Oh, you are so sweet. Happy heart. Thank you, baby. Please let me know if I can do a little story for you on Monday in the Members Corner, babe. We have the Judgment card. This is 2 people who actually maybe missed their shot to be together. Maybe they thought, oh, it's not going to work with them. They don't meet every one of my criteria. There's no way, whatever. It's long distance. That can't work. Oh, it's, we tried a date, but we had a difference of opinion on one topic, or, something fell apart. This actually says that there is a chance for not only reconciliation, but there's a reason for these 2 to readdress things with each other. This is like a relationship that maybe neither person believed could have worked, and yet they were wrong about that. Let me just see. Have they both been thinking about each other then? 9 of Wands, because this is the 9-9 portal, or we say the 999 portal. Yes, they both have learned something. You notice that it's the 9 of Wands and the finish line ahead, and the 9s are all about wrapping something up, finishing something, so then we can move forward. These 2 interacted, they clashed in some way, yet they were still important to each other. Maybe they both had, it says for him with the Tower, like his ego had to drop. It says for her, she had to kind of like slow down and roll with stuff and be a little bit more open to different scenarios than what she would have expected. And she too had to surrender something. I think that their expectations of what perfect was supposed to look like, that's just not how they feel about things anymore. And it doesn't mean that they would both be settling for something less than what they want now. It just says their perspective on what a relationship could be made up of. We have the Magician, and it's sideways. You notice that we've got 2 people here, her and the reflection. Anytime I see sideways cards, I read it as shared energy, or I read it as the energy that is like, it's neither completely acted upon, nor is it, the opposing energy. It's somewhere in between. So it's a dash of this and a dash of that. In this case, because we got 2 people sitting on either side, floating on the floaty here, I would say that they both are manifesting the same energy during this 9-9 portal. Both people might be thinking specifically about that one person who, I wonder about them. I wonder if they had so many of the traits that I wanted, but maybe I didn't interact with them the way I would have today back then. It feels like both of them really wanted things to work with each other at one point in time. And so during this 9-9 portal, characters who really did want things to work with each other and really saw a lot of potential, but then it was like, okay, but it doesn't fit into my rigid little checklist of all this has to be right. You have to live in my area. You can't be somebody who lives at a distance. That doesn't work. So cross you off the list. There could have been, I don't know what his deal at the time, deal breaker might have been. We have that 3 of Cups sideways for him. Maybe it was like, well, I don't know if you'll get along with my whole family. Yeah, well, guess what? That doesn't matter. It's about who your heart wants. It could have been anything. I don't know what it was that he thought didn't work, or what stirred up worries and fears in himself. But whatever reasons they chose to come up with to say, well, it couldn't possibly work with us. We must have to walk away from each other, when neither one of them actually wanted to do that. This 9-9 portal is challenging that concept and making them both admit, but I actually wanted this to work. And I'm a little more flexible now. And I kind of wonder if that could still work. I definitely see this could be a day for reconciliation, or somewhere, shortly after this portal energy, because these characters are so much more relaxed now. I definitely feel both of them are so much more relaxed. He's got that 6 of swords, floating along in his kayak on a mountain lake. She's got the smell the roses, take everything slower. Both of these characters, is not to like judge them or anything like that, but both of these characters needed to chill a little bit. And I really think it was just like, we're dealing with two people that were very much about being high achievers and wanting to get it right. But that became almost like their own barrier, because it seemed like either they felt like they had to be perfect, or they were thinking that a scenario had to be so perfect before it could work. And so they walked away from something that honestly, I think they both want, and this could work. There's no guarantees, of course. But it's just, like an opportunity for a character to reconsider. We have the King of Wands sideways. They definitely both keep saying, I kind of think that maybe there's a reason I met them, especially on the masculine side. There's no way that I didn't meet her or him for a reason. There's just no way. The universe played a role. Maybe I shouldn't have even bumped into them. There's this big mystery, because out of all the people I've met, they stay on my mind. And the way I met them in the first place, I'm wondering if this was very special, the way these two met each other. Can I see anything about that? Was there something about like, the way they met? We have the Moon, we have the Queen of Wands. Definitely there was something that's hidden, like some bigger purpose or something. I don't know if on her part, by the way, you notice that we do have a matched pair, right? A King and a Queen of Wands. And we got the lion and lioness standing on either side. I almost feel like maybe they met during a super moon or a full moon, no matter how long ago this was. Maybe the moon is factored in very heavily to both of them, even though they didn't recognize it as such. Maybe there's a time involved. Maybe these two met on a specific date where, it was like a 9-9, or it was, some double digit number. Maybe if they looked back, they would see, whatever it was, the 6th of June or the 5th of May or the 4th of April, or, maybe there's some kind of doubling of energy where it was another portal day or something. That could be an interesting side note on a story. Yale, Ruben, you angel. Thank you, Yale. You are so sweet. Thank you, baby. Christy Peruso, Fancy Pants, Manifest Mindset, Chrissy and Joanne Roberts. You guys are all now members, courtesy of Yale Ruben. Just know you guys can now tap into the members playlist, and you'll definitely want to check out our members video from last night that I posted. I post one every Monday, and I explain all this stuff about memberships there. Yale, thank you, babe. You're so sweet. That's so awesome. You can type card at some point in time, honey, and I will do a little storytelling for you. This feels so beautiful, because there was something special about it for these two. There was something special about the time that they met. There was something special about how this played out. He either crossed her path. Like, he seems to be the one that either wasn't supposed to be in a certain place. Maybe he came to the town that she lived in. Maybe something changed in her day that allowed them to interact. But it says there was more at work here than randomness. And it could just be that they were in the same frequency. These two maybe are kindred souls. Maybe they're a great match for each other. That would make sense, because you notice how even the lesson that they both had to learn, which was to chill just a little bit, that also says that they're, very high vibing, high achieving characters that even had the same lesson to learn. So I'm going to say that the universe had a mischievous little hand in all of this, that they'll never necessarily know, but they both sense it anyway. Are these two going to interact again? Will these two get to one another? We have the Hermit. remember the 999 portal is known as the Hermit's Gate. This is where we've done the deep dive inside of us. We found the answer, and we are like walking back up the stairwell from that darkened basement of our soul, and we're flipping the door open and saying, "Hey, I'm back, guys. I'm ready to interact again. I figured some stuff out inside of me, and I'm back. Where's the party at? I'm ready to interact again." So I'm going to say, yes, this is the culmination of this big lesson. I almost feel like the two of them, you notice that there's these two North Stars, which we should only have one, but we have two. I'm thinking that's the two of them. And they're both in this perfect alignment. They're both, I would say, thinking about each other. I don't see much longer before these two interact again. I don't know who's reaching out to whom, but maybe the masculine's going to reach out, or if one of them is a Virgo. Page of Cups, it's like we have nighttime, we have morning. So possibly by the 10th, we have characters turning the page. Could be that somebody reaches out and says, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I met you and I kind of, for whatever reason, I didn't know if we were compatible, or I wasn't seeing things straight. I thought you were great though. And I'm sorry that I didn't, maybe keep you in my life or ask you to continue to be in my life. I'm sorry that I cut you out of my life, or I'm sorry that I just moved on when you were clearly somebody that I've kept thinking about." Boy, I feel like whomever starts that dialogue, there's a great response. This feels like a busy week of conversation ahead. So maybe in the next 7 days, these two have a lot of back and forth. That's actually really nice. All right, you guys, really great to see you all. Thank you again. Lilu Bell, I can see you, hun. I see you just fine. Are you not able to see your own comments, hun? I know sometimes the chat can be funky. Somebody else, I think the light thought that I wasn't able to see them also, but I had said hi to them right in the beginning of the video, and I don't know if there was a blip or something where they didn't hear me say hi. And by the end of it, they were asking, "Am I blocked?" And it's like, no, I mean, I can see your comments and everything. So I don't know. There are glitches though. And in fact, the reason I bounced over to Tarot Dog to do a video early today instead of later in the evening, although I'm still going to try to get over here again late tonight, is because on the other channel, things are so bogged down. Every video that I was trying to create, even short ones, it's taking forever to process. And I thought, let me bounce over here. I don't know if it's a widespread YouTube, bogged down right now for processing, or if there's, I mean, my internet went out last night and I didn't get it back until like 11:30 today. So maybe it's just, portal energy, guys. Lots of changes, lots of surges of energy, but we just kind of roll with it. But yeah, there are little blips, and I'll say energetic burps. Robin, Broken Bee for Bliss. So good to see everybody. Black Butterfly 25, Nikki O, Lena Bora. Oh, shout out to you in India, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. Caitlin B, wonderful to see you. Q Miller, Wonder T, Lisa, delighted you're here, hun. Hey, Ken. Yes, exactly. Caitlin B, it's spot on with your numbers there. Annie S, nice to see you, hun. Hi, Chrissy. Thanks for being here. Shout out to you in London. Shariza Ali, Sarah J. Again, Electro Beats, thank you so much, honey. Q Miller, thanks again. Nor A, hi. GOSC10P, hey, darling. Thanks again, Happy Heart. That's so kind of you. Sabrina, Inso Mom, Stevette, hi, honey. Happy almost birthday. Bubby Harris, Tasha Ramos, Lady Batheroy 1. Thank you for being here, everyone. Mon, hi, sweetheart. Okay. Gotcha, Happy Heart. Yeah, that's a great, explanation maybe. Yeah. Christy Peruso, Bobby Harris. Yeah, Lila Bell, I don't know what's going on with the hype button. I've heard some people see it, some people don't. I've heard, I actually have only ever seen it on one other video, on other people's channels, and it was just something that actually I don't even know what it was. It had nothing to do with like tarot or anything like that. It was some kind of like documentary channel or something, but I've only ever seen it once. So I don't know if maybe that's part of the updates and stuff too, because I know it's only like regional, and I think that YouTube puts stuff on it when they're doing like beta testing and then it disappears again. And so I'm guessing that maybe that's even part of some of the, like slow processing and things that have been going on lately. But yeah, but thank you for checking, Lila Bell. That's so sweet of you. Hey, Boredom. Unique to Freak. Thank you, Angel. And happy birthday to you. Andy R. Wonderful to see you, babe. And thank you so much, Andy. It's so great to know you all these years. And again, welcome to everybody that are new members. Yael Rubin, thank you again, honey. Molly, hi. Very nice. So it was a full moon on this night in 1995. Very cool. Dwayne, thank you. That was so sweet of you. Unique to Freak, thank you. Delinda, hi. Q Miller, thank you, Angel. You're so sweet. Chrissy, thank you for reminding me. I so appreciate you guys giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you so, so much. All right, you guys. Really nice to see everyone. Patricia Bookatour, hi. Yes, Patricia, my understanding is that the hype button does it like it's like it upvotes, I guess, your video, and then makes it so that for like smaller channels, which both of mine are still small channels, considered, by comparison to so many others. So it helps to kind of like help small channels be found. So that's what the hype button does, is it like upvotes and then like supposedly helps the algorithm, maybe like circulate it, because that's always what the big struggle is. It's like for almost 2 years I didn't have any new subscribers at all, and there's always been like a bit of a plateau, and then you'll get some subscribers and then you don't anymore, and then you kind of do. But then I see other channels that are just like exploding all the time, and I never have known how that all works, but I'm just grateful to anybody who's here, period. But yeah, the hype button is probably created because, just like I was describing, like it's really easy, I think, for the algorithm to not necessarily spot smaller channels maybe, and then kind of fall through the cracks maybe or something. So I think this is kind of like their effort to make sure that everybody kind of gets a chance to grow a little bit. So that's what my kind of understanding is it's all to help smaller channels get a chance for the algorithm to recognize that they exist, is kind of, I don't know if that's the greatest interpretation, but that's more or less the way with what I've read. That's more or less what I think it's all about. So anyway, thank you guys so much. And we send good vibes right back to you, Dwayne. Oh no, Annie S. Your messages weren't showing up for a few days. No, sweetheart. If your messages did not show up, trust me, it's because I couldn't see them. I wonder how often stuff like that happens. I noticed that even in the comment section, it's been hard for me, like on the couple videos that I left comments on, like the ones where like the roll the dice. There's two different ways I can check for comments. And I discovered that if I looked in general for new comments, I didn't see everything. And then when I go right into that video, then I could see stuff. And I'm like, okay, I hope nobody has fallen through the cracks, because I mean, of course, nothing is perfect with electronic stuff, but I always hope that if there are those funky glitches, and I know that there have been like new members who said, I can't comment, or I had a new member who was like, I can't see the videos, yet I can comment on them in the members corner. So I know that there's all kinds of, little gremlin stuff that goes on with electronic things. And I'm sorry, I know that it's frustrating when we're kind of like surfing through those moments, but I hope you guys will always, you know, even if it takes a couple days or something, hang in there a little bit, because chances are it's just, you know, some current, you know, like 4 hour block of time where YouTube's doing an update, and then maybe they do it another day, and it's just when we're trying to do a video or a comment or something. Because I know, like I said, I'm having trouble getting videos to process. And in that gap of time where I already did live videos, but they're not done processing, I don't know what happens in that processing time. Does it still notice that you guys are watching? Does it pay attention to comments? Like, I have no idea what happens during the processing gap. So, but I do know that right now it's taking, in some cases, an entire day for even a 15-minute video to be processed. So I know that there's funkiness. So anyway, I'm glad you guys brought that up, because it gives you a chance to know that on my end, I'm kind of riding the waves with you, but we'll get through it together. But no, you guys, I'm super honored you guys are here. I send you so much love. So appreciate you. Caitlin B, hi, honey. Yael Ruben, thank you. You're so sweet. Oh, that's so awesome. Happy heart. Thank you, darling. You're so kind. Kins, thanks again, babe. All right, everybody. Nice to see you all. Really appreciate you. All right, lots of love. Bye for now. Happy heart. I still didn't see, but drop me a comment at least in one of our members' videos and let me know if I can do a little thank you card pull for all your generosity to those memberships that you just gifted. And Yael, you know, you can just say card sometime and I'll pull some cards for you, love. All right, bye for right now, guys. Take care.